You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey Rebel friends, if you're looking for something rebellious, if you're looking to take a deep dive into the mystical for 6 months to get your year off to a rocking start, then there's still time to join the Rebel Spirituality Mystery School. And if you're one of the founding listeners, if you're someone who's been listening to this podcast, then it may just be a fantastic place for you to be, because we're going to co-create this amazing space together that I hope goes on to serve many, many people, and I'd love to have you a part of it. So if you're interested at all, there's links down in the show notes. Feel free to email me and just have a look around. But yeah, it's going to be a really special place. We're going to be doing something different, and be great to have you a part of it. All right, team, without further ado, I'll hand you over to me, and we're going to talk about being a self-help junkie today. See you there. Hey Rebels, good to see you. Well, good to be here with you. So we're going to scratch the surface of the answer to a question. Okay, is it a question? Well, here's the topic for today, right? Are you a self-help junkie? Do you find yourself constantly seeking and almost like being addicted to personal development or spirituality? And look, I was in that bracket for the longest time. For the best part of 2 decades, I was running that program. I felt like I was missing something. I was always seeking something that was outside myself. The next book or the next podcast or the next whatever held the promise of having the answer. And what would tend to happen for me was I would kind of read a book and I'd be like, oh yeah, great. Like I'm getting it. I'm really getting it. This is the one. This is going to solve all of my problems forever. And then the moment I put the book down and I had a shift in my thought, and perhaps I felt some sadness or some anxiety or something, I think, oh, fuck. It must not be that. I must still be missing something. There must be something outside of me. And there's a whole different host of ways that we could look into a lot of the innocent misunderstandings that I had about the spiritual path, or what it even means to wake up, or how our experience is created, and how we're always going to have emotions, right? They're an absolute gift from beyond. They're not something to be banished. They're something to be cherished. But the thing that I'd like to, kind of the analogy or metaphor I'd like to share with you today is something that came up recently on a coaching call. I was coaching a lady, and we were talking about the energy of seeking versus the energy of curiosity. And I think at the root of any kind of seeking behavior is the idea that we don't have the thing that we need, right? That we're actually missing something, we're lacking something, and we're on the hunt for it, and we're looking for it wherever we can, and we're sure that this person's going to have it, we're sure that Sam's going to have it, or that Eckhart Tolle's got it, or that this person's got it, or that book's got it. And so we move through personal development, and we do it with this kind of addictive, kind of very highly energized next thing kind of energy. And this was exactly what I was up to. And I'd have moments of peace, moments of calm that would be absolutely beautiful. I'd attribute that to the books and stuff I was reading, but it wasn't coming from there. It's coming from me. And I just didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that I had that in me. I didn't know that I wasn't missing anything. So of course I was seeking. And when we go into things with a sense of curiosity, when we're not desperate to find this thing because it's kind of like really high stakes, life or death energy, I've got to find the answers in this book or in this podcast or whatever, it really changes things. So the image that came to me was, imagine you were going for a walk through the park, and version A, you're going for a walk through the park, and you're going to go, you've got to find something, and it's really important that you find this thing. All right. And a lot rests on it, like your feelings of peace and stuff. And you're going to go to the park, and you've got 3 hours to kind of just be in the park, and you've got to find this thing, right? So you go to the park, whatever your kind of experience is, you definitely aren't going to have time to slow down and smell the flowers. You're not going to have time to kind of notice some of those incredible things that you're seeing, because you're on the hunt, right? You're looking under logs, and sure, you're going to find some interesting stuff. You may well find some stuff that you wouldn't find if you weren't searching. But at the end of those 3 hours, all right, but like unbeknown to you, this thing isn't even there. You've got the wrong end of the stick, right? At the end of those 3 hours, you're going to feel knackered. Who knows how you're going to feel? You can, at certain points, you were so sure, you were so close to finding it, but then somehow it just got out of your grasp, right? Contrast that with a trip to the park where you're not searching anything, but you're curious as to what you're going to find, right? The whole energy of why you're going is completely different. You're there not because you need to find something and it's life or death and it's like high stakes, but you're just in the moment, you're enjoying it. You're there to kind of just witness the beauty of everything that's unfolding in that park. You're going to have an entirely different experience, right? An entirely different experience. Now, I'm not here to shit on personal development or the spiritual journey or any of that stuff. You'll have noticed that this is what I do. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I love working with people. But so it's not the action. It's not the action of reading the book or listening to the podcast or meditating for however many times a day or whatever it might be. The action is secondary. Primary is the energy that underpins it. And the thing about us seeking energy when we feel like we're not whole, where we feel like we're missing something and the answers are outside ourselves, is that it takes us into the experience of being in the park in example A. But the moment you wake up to the truth, or any of us wake up to the truth that we already have everything we need, that it's much more a joy. It's not about adding things to the screen to try and get more peace or more love or more joy. It's about clearing the screen so we see the peace, love, and joy that resides at the heart of our being that's already there, right? Once we start to see that, you can read that book, but you can do it because you want to, not because you need to. You can do whatever. You can do that course, but you do it because you want to, not because you need to. You're not so much in reactive psychology where you're kind of like scrolling through Facebook and you're like, fuck, I need that. Oh God, I need that. And you're just collecting shit left, right, and center. And, I ran that program, the Something Missing program for decades, for most of my life. So there's zero judgment from this side. It's running that I've just through grace and through, through grace and whatever, and just continuing to look and just getting tired of that way of searching. In the end, I realized it's not there. It's not there, and you can't find something where it isn't. So I just, as soon as I knew it was true and that I wasn't missing anything, the whole thing changed. The whole thing changed for me. So what energy are you running? Where are you coming from? And if you're looking for a way of switching up that energy, then you feel free to reach out to me, and I can always tell you about programs and anything that's coming up or running, and or any events that I'm running and that kind of stuff. Just I'm one email away or one message away, however you got me. All right, team. I hope you have the most amazing week, month, all that stuff. Huge love, and I'll see you soon.